The coffee shop hummed with the usual Tuesday afternoon rhythm. Chen stood at the entrance, balancing on her crutches, her backpack weighing heavy on her shoulders. She scanned the crowded room, searching for an empty seat. Every table was taken. Groups of students. Couples leaning close. Business people typing furiously on laptops. Except one. A man sat alone at a corner table, a little girl coloring beside him. The table had 2 empty chairs. Maya took a breath and made her way across the room. People glanced, then looked away quickly. She was used to it. The stares. The awkward avoidance. The pity. She stopped at the table. The man looked up, early 30s, tired eyes, but kind. "Excuse me," Maya said quietly. "Can I share this table?" The man studied her for just a moment. Not her crutches. Not her missing leg. Just her face. Then he smiled, stood up, and pulled out the chair. "Only if you help my daughter with her coloring," he said warmly. "She's working on a dragon and insists it needs to be purple. I keep telling her dragons can be any color." Maya blinked, caught off guard. No pity. No uncomfortable glance away. Just normalcy. "Purple dragons are the best kind," she replied, sitting down carefully. The little girl looked up, her eyes bright. "See, Daddy? I told you." Before we continue with this touching story, subscribe to the channel and comment where you're watching from. This helps us share more stories that matter. Maya settled into her seat, propping her crutches against the wall. The man extended his hand. "I'm David Torres. This is my daughter, Emma." Chen, she replied, shaking his hand. Emma immediately slid her coloring book across the table. "Do you like dragons?" Maya smiled despite herself. "I love them." "Good." Emma pushed a purple crayon toward her. "You can do the wings. Daddy's not very good at staying in the lines." David laughed, a genuine sound that made the whole table feel warmer. She's not wrong. As Maya began coloring, she felt something unfamiliar. Comfort. Acceptance. Like she was just another person at a coffee shop table. "So," David said, sipping his coffee, "what brings you here? Besides our world-class dragon art." Maya hesitated. She'd come here to study, to escape her cramped apartment, to avoid her roommate's constant questions about her prosthetic fitting appointments. But something about David's easy manner made her want to be honest. "Job interview prep," she said. "I have one Thursday. Tech company. I'm nervous." David nodded thoughtfully. "What position?" "Software engineer. Junior level, but it's a good company. She paused. "I just hope they see my skills and not." She didn't finish, but she didn't have to. David leaned forward slightly. "Can I tell you something?" Maya looked up. 3 years ago, David began, his voice quieter, "I lost my wife. Car accident. Emma was only 2. Suddenly I was a single dad with no idea what I was doing. Every job interview I went to, every parent-teacher meeting, every doctor's appointment, people looked at me differently. Like I was broken. Like I couldn't possibly handle it alone." Emma continued coloring, humming softly. She'd clearly heard this story before. "And you know what I learned?" David continued. "The people who matter don't see what you've lost. They see what you've built with what you have left." Maya felt her throat tighten. "If that company doesn't hire you because of anything other than your qualifications," David said firmly, "then they're not worth your time. But I have a feeling you're going to walk in there and blow them away." Maya blinked back sudden tears. "You don't even know me." "I know you helped my daughter with her dragon," David smiled. "I know you walked into a crowded coffee shop with your head up. I know you're here preparing for your future instead of hiding from it. That tells me everything I need to know." Emma suddenly tugged on Maya's sleeve. "Miss Maya, can I ask you something?" "Of course, sweetie. Where's your leg?" "Emma." David started, but Maya held up her hand. "It's okay." She looked at the little girl's curious, honest eyes. "I was born without it. So I use these special sticks called crutches to help me walk. Emma considered this seriously. Does it hurt? Sometimes, Maya admitted. But mostly I'm just used to it. Oh. Emma thought for a moment. My daddy says everybody has hard things. His hard thing is that mommy's in heaven and sometimes he cries in the shower so I can't hear. David's face flushed. Emma. But Maya was smiling now, really smiling. Your daddy sounds very brave. He is, Emma agreed matter-of-factly. And you're brave too. They sat together for the next hour. David worked on his laptop. He was a graphic designer, freelancing from home so he could be with Emma. Maya studied her coding notes. Emma colored 3 more dragons, each one purple. As the afternoon stretched on, Maya found herself laughing at Emma's stories about her kindergarten class, about her pet goldfish named Thunder, about her conviction that vegetables were just sad fruits. David shared stories too. About learning to braid hair from YouTube videos. About the time he accidentally made blue pancakes. About the small victories of single parenthood. And Maya, slowly, began to share her own story. She told them about the accident when she was 12. A hiking trip gone wrong. A fall. Complications that led to amputation. The years of physical therapy, of learning to walk again, of fighting through the stares and whispers. But you know what the hardest part was? Maya said quietly. It wasn't the physical stuff. It was convincing myself I was still worth something. David looked at her seriously. And now? Maya glanced at Emma, who was showing her the finished dragon with pride. She thought about how David had pulled out her chair without hesitation. How he'd talked to her like a person, not a problem. Now, Maya said slowly, I'm starting to remember. Emma suddenly climbed onto Maya's lap, surprising them both. I think you're really cool, Miss Maya. Maya's eyes filled with tears. Thank you, Emma. David cleared his throat, clearly emotional. Okay, little dragon master, we should probably head home. It's almost dinner time. Emma groaned but slid off Maya's lap. As David gathered their things, he pulled out a business card. Look, he said, handing it to Maya. I meant what I said about that interview. But also, Emma and I come here every Tuesday. Same time. We'd love it if you joined us again. Maya looked at the card. Then at David's kind eyes. Then at Emma, who was nodding enthusiastically. I'd like that, she said softly. Good. David smiled. And Maya? You're going to do great on Thursday. I know it. Thursday arrived faster than Maya expected. She stood outside the tech company's glass building, her heart hammering. She'd chosen her best blazer, rehearsed her answers 100 times, but doubt still crept in. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. You've got this. Remember, they'd be lucky to have you. David. Maya smiled. She'd given him her number on Tuesday, hadn't expected him to actually use it. Another text appeared, this time a photo. Emma holding up a drawing of a purple dragon with the words, Good luck Maya, written in crayon. Maya felt strength flood through her. She straightened her shoulders, adjusted her crutches, and walked through those doors. The interview was intense. 3 people, rapid-fire questions, technical challenges. But Maya held her ground. She coded on the whiteboard, explained her thought process, showcased the projects she'd built. Not once did anyone mention her leg. They asked about her experience. Her education. Her problem-solving approach. They treated her like exactly what she was, a qualified candidate. When it ended, the lead interviewer stood and shook her hand. We'll be in touch soon, Ms. Chen. Your portfolio is impressive. Maya floated out of that building. Tuesday afternoon, she practically rushed to the coffee shop. David and Emma were already there, same corner table. Emma spotted her first and waved wildly. Miss Maya. Miss Maya. David stood, smiling. Well? They offered me the job, Maya said, her voice trembling with joy. They called this morning. I start in 2 weeks. Emma cheered. David's face lit up with genuine pride. I knew it. I'm so proud of you. Maya paused, emotional. I almost didn't go. I was standing outside that building, ready to turn around. But then you texted me. You reminded me I was more than my fears. David shook his head. I didn't do anything. That was all you. No. Maya sat down, her eyes serious. You saw me. When I walked in here last week, I was invisible to everyone else. Just the girl with one leg. But you saw me. You pulled out my chair. You treated me like I mattered. Do you know how rare that is? David's expression softened. Maya, I've been where you are. Different circumstances, but the same feeling. Like the world sees your loss before they see you. Emma and I, we don't do that. We can't. Because we know what it's like. Emma tugged on Maya's sleeve again. Miss Maya, are you going to come every Tuesday now? Maya looked at this little girl who'd welcomed her so easily. At this man who'd shown her kindness without agenda. At this table that had somehow become a sanctuary. Every single Tuesday, she promised. 6 months passed. Tuesdays became sacred. Maya, David, and Emma, their corner table, their dragon drawings, their growing friendship. Maya thrived at her new job. She made friends, tackled projects, even started mentoring other junior developers. But Tuesday afternoons remained her favorite time of the week. One Tuesday, David seemed nervous. Emma kept giggling like she had a secret. Okay, what's going on? Maya asked suspiciously. David pulled out a folder. So, I've been working on something. A project, kind of. He opened it. Inside were designs, beautiful, professional graphics for a non-profit organization. I'm starting a support group, David explained. For people who've lost someone or something significant. Parents, spouses, health, limbs, whatever. A place where people can meet without judgment. Where they can just be seen. Maya felt her chest tighten. And I was wondering, David continued, his voice hopeful, if you'd want to be involved. Maybe share your story. Help others who are where you were 6 months ago. Emma added, Daddy says you're really good at making people feel better. Maya stared at the designs, at the mission statement that read, everyone deserves to be seen for who they are, not what they've lost. You want me to help with this? She whispered. I don't want your help, David said gently. I want your partnership. This was inspired by you, Maya. By your courage. By your refusal to be invisible. Maya looked at them, this man and his daughter who'd changed her life with one simple act of kindness. Who'd pulled out a chair and made room at their table. Yes, she said, tears streaming down her face. Yes, I want to help. Emma cheered and threw her arms around Maya. David reached across the table and squeezed her hand. Thank you, he said quietly. No, Maya replied, squeezing back. Thank you. For seeing me. 1 year later, the support group had 40 regular members. They met every week, sharing stories, offering support, building community. Maya spoke at their first meeting, telling her story, from the scared girl in the coffee shop to the woman she'd become. David's design business grew. Emma started first grade and announced she wanted to be either a dragon expert or a doctor, maybe both. And every Tuesday, without fail, the three of them met at that corner table. Same coffee shop. Same purple crayons. Same unconditional acceptance. Because sometimes, all it takes is someone willing to pull out a chair. To make room at their table. To see beyond the surface and recognize the person underneath. Maya never forgot that first Tuesday. The day she asked, can I share this table? And the single dad who replied not with pity, but with possibility. His answer hadn't just stunned her. It had changed her. And in doing so, it changed everything. Sometimes the people society overlooks are the ones carrying the strongest hearts. Maya didn't need pity, she needed opportunity. David didn't see disability, he saw ability. Emma didn't see difference, she saw a friend. And together, they proved that the simplest acts of human kindness, pulling out a chair, sharing a table, coloring a dragon, can ripple outward in ways we never imagine. If this story moved you, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you're watching from.